We've done just about everything we knew we can do with cout. Now we're going to start something new. We're going to start cin. Cin is the input of data into a C++ program. Different languages have different ways of inputting, but it's this in C++. It is the cin object. Just like I don't know if I've stressed it, but cout is also an object. All right, we're just going to jump right into a program. If you're wanting to mimic my code, you need the basic shell, some comments, include IOStream, and again, a reminder, IOStream, the I is for input, the O is for output. So this header file, which is all that is include this file. IOStream is a header file, which shows up in the header at the top, and this whole file is shared to help compile this program. All right, using namespace because we're going to be doing some naming. All right, int main, left parentheses, right parentheses, return 0. So it's the same thing that we used for all of our output cout code. All right, the program I've got here is just a simple square foot area program where you enter the length, you enter the width, and it couts. It does the calculation and couts the square footage. All right, for this program, I'm just going to start out by just first asking somebody to enter the length of the room. Cout, enter the room, colon, I leave a little space, and then I close off my quotation marks, and then an end line. What'll happen then is at the end of with the end line, it'll go to the next line, and the cursor will start flashing, and it'll be cin.length, right? You will enter the length. Program won't advance until you enter the length. Then cout, the length of the room is, and it'll print out the length and then feet, right? So up here for length, int length, you declared an integer variable, and now from the input from your keyboard, you're going to assign the value. Most of the time, up till now, we've did something like this. Int length, we declared it, then we assigned it an 8. What the cin does is it goes ahead and asks you, the user, to enter a number, and that assigns it to integer length. So let's go ahead and just run this. Go up to local Windows debugger. Enter the length of the room. I already see something I don't like here. I don't like this cursor flashing on the next line. It just seems natural for this kind of program, right? This looks like something you'd have on your bank account at the bank, or so it looks like the cursor should be flashing up here. But for this for this run, I'm gonna go ahead and enter it. Let's enter 35 feet. The length of the room is 35 feet. That means we were successful inputting the 35 into the program. All right, before we move on, let's go ahead and fix that thing I said I didn't like. I'm going to just get rid of this indel. That's all it's going to take to run the program, and the cursor, when it runs, enter the length of the room, it's just going to sit there and flash at the end of the line, one space beyond the colon. Let's go ahead and do this. Enter the length of the room. There is the cursor just sitting there flashing at me. I'm going to enter 39 feet, and it successfully assigned the 39 feet, okay, to the length, and then we printed it out. All right, these next 3 lines of code that I'm just getting rid of the comments on does the exact same thing. Enter the width of the room. It's gonna flash the cursor. I'm gonna enter the width. Then it's going to just print out the width of the room so I can make sure that it was assigned correctly to width. Can hit the debugger. Enter the length of the room, 39 feet. So you can see it was entered correctly. And what's the width? Let's just call it 23 feet. And width was assigned correctly. Pretty boring just inputting and outputting. Let's make it do something. We're going to go ahead and make it do the area. So int area, I'm declaring a variable area, and then I'm assigning width times length. Length was assigned here, width was assigned here. I have those values. I'm going to multiply them together, and then I'm going to assign it to the integer area. Then for my final line of code, I'm just going to see out the area of the room is area, square feet, and then a couple indels. Running my code. Enter the length of the room. It's going to be 39. Let's make it 38. The length of the room was 38. Enter the width of the room, 24. Enter. All right, the width of the room is 24 feet. So it assigned correctly to length, 38 feet to length, 24 foot to width. It multiplied the two together, assigned it 2, which comes out to 912, assigned it to area, and then we printed out the area of the room is 912 square feet. If you're mimicking the code that I just wrote, don't just go to completion and be like the compliant student, just to do it once and see it. Guys, you need to make some mistakes. You need to play with where the cursor shows up, all right? You need to just make some mistakes and see how this works. Play with it a little bit. Enter some different values. Enter some text for integers and see the errors you get. You need to start really getting a feel for the errors. They'll come naturally. This chapter starts introducing things that you're going to hit. You're going to hit the local Windows debugger and expect to go find, and you're going to find out that it's many layers of mistakes that you've made. So play with this some. We're going to have several more videos today, but spend a few minutes on this.